And there's Ryan. How you doing today?
What's up, guys? It's a whirlwind of a day. It's back and forth. Just biked back here from. Oh, what's up? What's up, Teach? Just biked back here from Manhattan. So it's been a busy day. It's been good, and I'm so excited for this recipe, Jen. I can't wait to get into it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Well, listen, today it's going to be a really simple, delicious recipe. Well, before we get into it, hello, how are you? I know you said it was a busy day. For those of you who are watching that are just joining right now, my name is Chef Jen Carroll, and this is another cooking class from Ryan and my series, Fueled by Spice. And today we are going to teach a cheesy potato naan with Ramp Ranch seasoning. Now, this series is all about me teaching how to cook and Ryan telling us all the good benefits and good tricks and tips to do if you are a father or looking for meal prepping. And Billy is he is here right now. He's
There
going
he
to
is.
be moderating.
Hey, look, there you guys are. Right there.
We look
Hey.
great.
Yeah, I'll be monitoring the chat, so if anyone has any questions throughout the entire time, or hears like a voice coming through the speakers that they cannot see mouth moving from, that's probably me talking about what you're asking. So throw them our way so I can have these two answer them for you.
Okay. So, Ryan, do you want to say a little bit about yourself to all of my fans that are watching so they can learn about you?
Yeah. Thank you for slowing things down. I feel like it's just so much going on. But yes, thank you. I'm Ryan Turner. I am a registered dietitian over here in New York City. I specialize in sports nutrition, but also just making sure that we can make food and fueling easy. And Jen has come in to make it delicious too. So it's been a great partnership, and we're so happy to be here.
All right, so everybody, let's get into cooking. So today's recipe only needs a few ingredients, and I think I'm missing one right now because I left it in the fridge and Billy's going to go get it for me, the cheese. I have the rosemary, yep. So what we're making here is what we need are some potatoes, some fresh rosemary. I have naan bread. I did not make it. We're buying naan bread here, all right? And of course my Ramp Ranch seasoning, which we have right here, a little bit of salt and some shredded cheese. And to get started, what we're going to do is peel our potatoes and dice them up into small cubes. So I washed my potatoes already, and I'm just using a regular peeler, and we're going to peel these guys up.
And I'm gonna follow along, Jen, because I feel like this is the kind of recipe with those little tiny hacks that you might know about. But again, yeah, it's so simple. This is a great recipe if you don't know what to make and then you want to jump into something really fast. It doesn't take a lot. And so I don't want anyone to feel like scared that this would be something that they can't do. And also great for the kids too. It's so easy.
It's definitely easy, and like I've peeled so many potatoes in my life. One of my first jobs cooking was when I was in high school and I worked at Bob's Lemonade, and I used to have to peel like potatoes literally all day for hours upon hours. Whenever we weren't making lemonades or funnel cakes, we were peeling potatoes because we made boardwalk style fries. And literally I would peel like 60-gallon trash cans of potatoes. So there's not really a trick to peeling potatoes. There's some like gadgets that you can stick the potato through and it peels it, but I feel like they take off too much of the like potato itself. And in my one restaurant, 10 Arts, we also did a ton of potatoes, and we had this big huge piece of equipment that tumbled the potatoes to get the skin all peeled off of it. And they just like bruised the potatoes. It worked, but it just bruised the potatoes. So after we spent the money on getting this awesome piece of equipment, I said, no, we're not using it anymore. And it sat in the corner of our kitchen for eternity collecting dust.
First of all, Bob's Lemonade sounds so like Americana. It's like that must have been the the best job at that point. I don't know.
It was pretty awesome, but I definitely came home sticky and tired.
I was also hoping that you were gonna have, because Jen, you always have these really quick tricks about things, and I was like, she has something for potatoes coming. I know, I'm gonna wait because it's gonna be here.
No, the only trick is just wash them and don't peel them and keep the peel on, and because hey, the skin has a lot of nutrients in it, right, Ryan?
It does.
All right, so listen, the recipe calls for us to cube the potato. Again, whenever I cut anything that is like a little bit like rolly, I try and make a flat surface. So whatever I'm cutting, for instance, right now, the potato isn't rolling around on me and there's less of a chance of me cutting myself. And I'm going to make these into a little bit of a small dice or a medium-sized dice. And I'm just getting the potato. I'm cutting pretty much an eighth of the end off to make a flat surface.
Can you just cut it in half?
Cutting it in half. Yes, I guess you could cut it in half, but I want it smaller. And then cutting it in half again so I can get these nice, beautiful pieces that are all pretty much the same size. And then cutting in half again. And it all depends on like the size of your potato too, because sometimes potatoes are really big and sometimes they're really small. I like to try and get potatoes that are at least the same size, especially if I'm baking them whole.
Jen, can I add these just right to my water right now? Is that going to be an okay thing to do?
If they're just peeled,
Yeah.
You can, but it's going to take really long to cook.
Okay.
So I'm cutting them into like a nice little like wedges.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn them and cut down into cubes.
Okay.
So
no. Yeah. I mean, as we cut right now, once they're cut into cubes.
Oh yeah, you can put them right into your pot of cold water.
I realized I didn't have another bowl, so I needed to find somewhere to put it, and I wanted to make sure it was okay by you right now because I need it.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing too, Ryan. So look at all you've learned.
You're doing it. You're doing it right now.
You're pro.
Jen, can I ask? Because I'm always like, I'm such a russet potato fan. Like, it's just the quick thing that I'm always gonna do. And I really want to get it. Like, potatoes make me excited, and I really want to talk about them, but not before. Like, I really want to highlight why we're using this potato today. This is a yellow potato, right? A Yukon Gold potato. Again, I mentioned I'm like a russet potato fan. I just like to buy them. I'll even show you how I quickly kind of like put together a meal sometimes. But when you're thinking of potatoes, like what do we have to think about? Like, is this the right potato for this recipe? Can you just touch on that? Because I'm always confused, I feel like.
Sure. So I like, so there's different starch contents in different types of potatoes, and what that leads to is number one, how easily they'll crisp up, how creamy the texture is going to be. And so for anything where like I love using Yukon Golds for mashed potatoes because they get really creamy, and even if we're like what we're doing today of boiling them and then baking them, by boiling them first, it's going to pull out some of that starch, and like it's almost like you're blanching your fries. So we're blanching the potatoes first, and then it's going to finish cooking. And what happens is it gets super crispy. And the Yukons over the russet potatoes will get rid of a lot of starch and get super crispy on the outside, and then stay like creamy and light and fluffy on the inside. So that's why I like using like the Yukon Golds a lot for like French fries or for my mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, I need that because I always just go straight to russet, I feel like. But I need to be more versatile in what I'm trying. So thank you for that.
My potatoes are up and boiling. I'm going to give them a check in a little bit. I have a clear pot, so it's kind of cool because I'm watching them kind of change color.
Like a lava lamp. That's amazing.
I like that. I love the clear pot because it's awesome for classes like
I
this
love
that are
it.
live. I did take a sprig of rosemary. I pulled off the rosemary, the herb, from the stem because I don't want to chop up the stem because it's really woody and like is almost like a stick and it doesn't break down. So when you're taking the rosemary off, you just want to hold it by the top and then pull straight down and you will get all of the leaves off in one swoop.
Can you do that again?
Sure, I can do it with another piece of rosemary.
It's like she's magic. She knows these things, people. Listen to her.
And so, all right, let's see. Here's a nice piece. So I'm gonna hold it from the top pretty snugly, and we're going to that one is not that I'm like, see, Bill, you got me going. That one's a little bit more delicate. These guys are delicate. All right, and we're just gonna hold it and we're gonna pull down and clean off the stem. That didn't work as well as I wanted, Bill.
Sorry.
Jen,
Jen,
would you recommend adding more like dill on top of this? Just because there's a really great fresh dill flavor that's coming from the red branch.
if you want, you can. I mean, listen, I love herbs. I love addition of more herbs. So whatever you like, if you want to add more fresh dill on top of it, and actually leave out the rosemary, go for it. If you want to add parsley, scallions, chives, all of those things, thyme would work really well on this recipe. So if you have a different herb, you can totally use that instead of rosemary.
Quick shout out from teacher 96 teacher in 96 Ryan. She says thank you, woohoo. And then Cast Iron Kyle says hey chefs, as well as potatoes on spin cycle.
Yeah.
It does look that way. Jen, it was Lauren's birthday yesterday, my wife's birthday. We went to a restaurant, Attaboy over here, which she's been wanting to go to for so long. But there was one dish and it had, what is it known as? It's known as Scandinavian wasabi. Broadleaf something. Do you know what that is? It tasted like horseradish. It was like the most amazing thing, and I would totally put it right on top of here. And I think it's going to go so well with kind of like a little bit of this oniony ram flavor with this. I would totally add that. Now thinking about it, it was so delicious.
That sounds so good. I would totally put like horseradish, or I'm trying to think what that ingredient is. I'm gonna have to look it up afterwards. And it was Lauren's birthday yesterday. Tell Lauren happy birthday. And guess what? Tomorrow is Billy's birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday!
All right, let's check the potatoes. I'm gonna see how far along my potatoes are. I need a little spoon.
Are you gonna take a temperature on your potato? You are, aren't you?
Yeah, so yeah, I check it to see, like I'm using some like little tweezers here that I use for plating, but you can also use a cake tester or even like the tip of your knife.
What about a fork?
Yeah, you can use a fork too. Anything that has a tine that is going to go through your potato. And what you're feeling for is you want to feel that it goes like through all the way and that it is cooked all the way. Like, so sometimes when the potato isn't cooked all the way through, like you can see this one is fully yellow. And when there's a little bit of opaque like whiteness, I'm trying to see if there's any larger pieces in here. Maybe like this one right here.
Oh,
good.
Shot away. Here it is.
I feel like I just do the tests, you know? See what it's like.
So like this like you can visually see the difference because there's a little bit of like whiteness here. And that is telling me that that part is not like as cooked as the rest of the potato. So there's a little bit more like starchiness that like needs to be like cooked out. But yeah, or you can literally put it onto like your cutting board and cut it to see how it cuts and take a bite of it.
Mine is a little bit. I'm going to take mine out just because I think mine was boiling a little bit earlier than yours. I don't want it to fall apart too much.
Yep.
As we kind of move forward. But I didn't really, I mean, I guess it made sense that it wasn't just cooked enough, but the white part being really just the start to your bit. I wasn't really worried that was it, so that's helpful. One reminder for everyone, when you are watching, it's the same thing as when you watch like a workout sometimes. Remember that you're coming in here, you don't have to cook with us, but get inspired for later. Just get the idea down, learn how to boil something, like put some garlic in your potatoes, learn that kind of thing right now, learn how to know that a potato is done. So definitely don't think that it's a failure if you are not cooking with us. Please just keep bumping in here and check it out because you're going to get inspired and we want to inspire you. So remember that.
You can always rewatch.
Totally.
You can always rewatch. Yep. And that's okay. So I strained my potatoes. That's hot, Bill. Watch the metal on the sides.
Ah.
I tell you, it's hot.
I want a link for that pot, by the way.
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. I think we can probably put a link up so you can find it because there's this one is I've had a couple clear pots that are good, but this one is pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
It's a recipe.
Billy definitely exploded a glass pot once.
It was crazy.
Uh-huh.
That sounds
do not treat it as a saute pan. Only boil with it.
And don't
use cold liquid.
Yeah, don't try and don't pour cold water on a hot pot because the glass will shatter very quickly.
I feel like I would totally end up doing, right? Oh yeah, because like when I boil eggs, then I would put the cold water. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. It would be me. I would have done that.
All right. So depending on how like large your potato is, I think like you can totally skip this step of cutting down the potatoes a little bit more. But if you did like large chunks of potatoes, then you definitely want to break them up a little bit. Or you can just use a fork and mash them a little bit so you're starting to get more of like a mashed texture along with some chunky pieces of the potato. But you want to watch the garlic, right? The 4 pieces of garlic that we put in there, and you want to cut that down so you don't have a big old chunk of potato on there. So totally. I'm going to just give them a little bit of a dump. Yes, Billy, you can take that away. Thank you.
I think the other thing too, remember that in this recipe, I know that when it was originally kind of put together, it didn't have us flavoring the potato, but I think that the smaller the pieces right now, you're going to get a lot more flavor in there in each bite as well. So I would recommend that if someone's looking at it and thinking that it's already small enough, just kind of go on the smaller side for a flavor. Maybe I'm projecting on this thing, but that's what I found to be the best.
Yes, so I'm just giving a nice like chop to my garlic. And it smells so good. And it's, you know, it just brings that sweetness out of the garlic.
And while you're saying this, Jen, I always try and keep in mind people who have a lot less time. And this kind of recipe too, even if you just want to test the flavors out, see if the kids are going to be open to the idea of it, you can use something like this. Wouldn't be my first go-to, but just in case you want to try it out and definitely figure out how to get some ramp ranch involved, you can definitely use something like an instant potato just to kind of figure it out, test it out, and then once you know the family's into it, bring a little bit of quality in there. So don't think you have to go through the whole process the first time around.
So I'm literally just like mixing that garlic in with my potatoes, and I'm going to add, you know, the ramp ranch seasoning right now onto it before I even go with my naan.
I don't measure with ramp ranch. I just measure with my heart and my soul. When I'm happy, I'm done. That's what happens.
I mean, that's what I'm doing too. I'm literally just giving a nice party dusting of my ramp ranch seasoning onto my potatoes. And again, I'm gonna mix them up. I have a bench scrape here, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a rougher chop to break up some of the larger pieces of potato. So almost like as if I'm making pasta right now is what I feel like I'm doing by using my bench scrape to easily chop up the potato and mix in that seasoning.
Is this just like halfway to gnocchi? Is that what we're basically doing?
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. What about a Ram Ranch gnocchi? Have you guys done that?
That would be really good.
No, but that is a great idea.
Put it on the menu.
And Billy is the king of making potato gnocchi.
Oh yeah,
he's really good at it.
Oh, stop.
Billy's like, oh, stop. Let me try that right now. All right, so I have my naan bread. Let's see if I can move it over so you can see a little bit better. Where is it good? Is it good here, Bill? Yeah.
I have mine here, a little parchment paper. We're gonna do that.
All right, and then we're going to just put the cheese directly onto our naan.
And in case anyone's not having naan, I grab these small ones because I think about small mouth, and so small ones work. If you have a pita, you can definitely use some pita for this. And I actually made one earlier, and I just cut a piece off. I mean, Billy knows how much I've been doing sourdough bread here. But just even sourdough bread could be a great option. So don't think that you need naan. Please don't. Use anything. Just use some bread. If you want to try, and I don't know. I feel like a tortilla wrap would be kind of thin for this, but you can try it.
It would be so good, though.
But I'm like, just try it. As long as it's not like burning on the bottom, you're fine.
You know what? I kind of could see this becoming too is like Ramp Ranch potato cheese pupusa.
Ooh.
Have you ever had a pupusa before, Ryan?
I didn't know we were allowed to say that on here, but just kidding. Yeah, I think I have. But hold on, explain it to me.
So it is. I believe it's a mixture of masa, but inside is typically like sometimes it's cheese only or like mixed with pork. Depends on like which region you're in, and they'll serve it with like. I've had it with fermented like vegetables and like a tomato sauce. It's super simple. It's very delicious. It's kind of like a stuffed tortilla to me.
Yeah, they definitely serve it with like a coleslaw or like a pickled cabbage on the side,
Ooh,
like
nice.
just like you said, fermented vegetables. Okay, so I layered up my Ramp Ranch seasoned potatoes along with the garlic on top of the cheese. I'm gonna do a little sprinkling of rosemary. Now, a little bit of rosemary goes a long way, so just don't go too heavy on the rosemary because it'll take over all of the flavoring already. So I'm going to put that right into my 425-degree oven, but I am using an air fryer. So it's actually going to cook even quicker. So if you guys have an air fryer at home, Bill, you got me?
Yeah, you're good. You stay right there.
If you have an air fryer at home or even like you don't need to heat up, especially in summertime as it's getting hot, a toaster oven, even you can use that instead of heating up the oven and heating up your whole kitchen and getting it really hot. But I love using the air fryer because it will cook a little bit faster, uses less energy, and it will help make the potatoes like extra crispy because of the fan effect that's going. I don't have a convection oven on my regular like kitchen oven, so having the air fryer, it really helps for my cooking. And especially when I'm doing classes, it helps move things along a lot faster. And if you don't have one, believe me, an air fryer will change your life. It changed my life. I didn't have one, and my dad got it for me for Christmas because I would always use theirs at my parents' when I went to their house to cook. And he's like, "Oh, you should get an air fryer." I'm like, "No, I'm good." And he bought it for me, and it is.
We've gotten it for other people too.
Yeah, we've bought it for people
because we like it that much.
Yeah.
And this model is Cuisinart. I think they make them smaller. This is probably one of the bigger sizes, but it's great for the studio.
Yeah, it is awesome. Super, super awesome.
Esquire 1979 says, yo, yo.
Thanks, Esquire.
I don't know who that is, but thank you for saying hi.
Hi, Esquire.
In Philadelphian.
All right, so right now all we're doing is we're waiting for this to cook up, the potatoes to get a little bit crispy, and then Esquire 1979. Oh, it's Bobby. That's my cousin Bobby. He's on his flight to Hawaii right now because
Whoa.
my cousin Kelly is getting married.
He is Philadelphian.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Please tell. I see Bobby. I got you before you commented. um I wish I was going. Tell Kelly I gotta give her a call and wish her well. I hope you guys have a great time in Hawaii. I'm definitely jealous.
What's
For
the occasion?
sure. My cousin Kelly is getting married. So I have a ton of cousins. My mom's one of 6, my dad's one of 11, and we all like Kelly's one of the youngest. She's not the youngest cousin, but she's one of the youngest, and she's getting married. She lives in LA and she's getting married in Hawaii. And unfortunately, Billy and I couldn't make it.
Oh man.
But my cousin Bobby's on the plane with his whole family, with his wife Beth and his kids. I'm like Aubrey, Juliana, and Anthony. So I'm like, I would, and my Aunt Janet is with them too. So
That's
hi
good
everybody, if you're
working
watching.
memory there. Good job.
I think that is that Davey, Bill?
Yeah.
I think my tow truck driver is here. So Billy's gonna watch the naan the rest of the way. Hey Dave.
Hey, how's it going? Stepping in for Chef Jen.
Downstairs.
What's happening for the birthday?
Thanks, bye.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. We were trying to make last minute plans to go somewhere. A whole bunch of things came up. We were like considering going to Florida. Where else did we say? Somewhere local, but nothing really ever happens because I don't get excited about it.
You know what? There's that guilt factor with your birthday. It's like I guess I need to celebrate enough so people think that I really enjoy it, but it's really hard sometimes. But my wife, I know Lauren, she scheduled Punta Cana. I mean, it was also her 40th birthday, but she scheduled Punta Cana with her friends, and she did in like February. Then she scheduled, like, she's such a scheduler. She's so good with it. But she like scheduled, Saturday night out with all of her girlfriends, and then we went to I don't know if you're familiar with Attaboy over here in like Midtown-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great dinner, but yeah, like that's not me. I'm like, I just love the fact that I can kind of spend it by myself sometimes.
Well, actually, comes to mind, our friends are all getting together because there's a lot of May birthdays or a lot of Gemini birthdays. Is Lauren a Gemini too?
No, she was here to be a story. No, she's is it Pisces? Is that what it is? No, it's something else. Taurus, maybe, whatever it is.
She's on the cusp, probably Taurus. But yeah, all of us are. Jen is attracted to Geminis. Like all of us, like Carrie, our event director, Greg, who does like serves our events. It's like having 6 of us around her all the time rather than just 3 of us, and it really feels that way. But we get a lot done.
Wait,
with all 6 of us.
So what's that energy? Like if you're like, hey, you're gonna walk into a room with a bunch of Gemini, like what is that? What's that energy there?
Well, it's a lot. It's just very energetic.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Is it fun? Is it like what? Is it energizing? Like what would you say?
I think being around more people like who have the same birthday in May, like I feel like we expel so much energy that we do it in like a very like burst. That long form is not always the best because I feel if I'm around somebody who is a Gemini too, I'm like, okay, I need to step away from you for a little while. What? It's done.
Nice. Mine's not, but it's like cook ahead of time.
Really brown. Look at this, guys. Look what we cooked. But yeah, I think being around other people with the same birthday feels like a lot. But this looks amazing.
It is. Guys, if you don't know what this tastes like, you have to make it. And if you haven't made it, that means that you have to make it. It's such an easy thing. I can't get across to people how easy it is to use potato, but in this particular recipe as well. So
I'll speak a little bit to the recipe too. Like you can find the recipe by checking out the link in our bio. And it's going to say few recipes. You'll also see like specific ones for all these live cooking classes that Jen and Ryan do. So if you're looking for all the information, we have it available to you. Just make a couple clicks. And we also offer links to all of the equipment, like the pot we were talking about earlier. We're going to add that in there so you can find out where to buy it. And you also get links to all the ingredients, as well as if you are an Amazon kind of person and you just want to shop for it on Amazon. How does Jen fit in this little square?
It's really hard. You know what? I feel like TikTok had a better stitch going on.
Yeah, well, because we were like side by side in that one. Hello, Yoga Elise. What's going on, Alicia? Who else is in here? We got Jimmy Hank in here who makes the amazing pizza. He says, "Go Geminis."
Go Geminis.
Go.
Can I? So I know we're gonna wait for Jen, but I love texture, and so if you feel like there's not enough texture on here, I think you don't want to overpower what's on here right now. One, taste the ramp ranch. Like, get some of the cheese in there because you're using a sharp white cheddar. But I love to add something that like isn't gonna give you too much flavor, but it's gonna give you the texture. So putting something like a little bit of the sprouts on top can definitely end up helping. One thing that's like really like not appreciated right now, or rather, I mean, not talked about enough, is like the color of this. Like the color of this is gonna blow people away. It's like all the greens that you possibly like want to see in your food. It's so good.
You can use any kind of sprouts, Ryan, right?
Yeah, totally. I would rather use like I think microgreens would be really cool on here. I think that these sprouts work just fine. But again, like you don't have to like. I guess you know what I don't like making people feel overwhelmed by needing to make something with like the most artisanal kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's like if you just find something that's a little crunchy on there, put it on top. It could just be like a little romaine lettuce if you needed to, but this will be better. So
yeah, I mean I put sauerkraut on everything, like that, and I think I would eat it on this too.
Totally.
What else could we add on top? Could you? I know Jen's coming back here, and I don't want to give away her secrets, but we might as well just go and do it because she's outside tending to the van.
Okay.
With the mechanic.
Yeah.
But when we're finishing it off, we like to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to really like add a bunch of flavor at the very end. And all you need is a microplane. I'm sure a lot of people have seen these around. They're very affordable. You can do a lot with them besides just shaving cheese. And it's going to give this another layer of nuttiness, umami, fluffiness, saltiness that we won't have to, worry about. It's kind of like adding it to pasta. Just
so everyone knows, I wasn't told about that. And so now Billy's looks like that much more amazing. And now my mouth is watering. See, like you guys could have let me know that you were doing that. That's kind of unfair.
Well, listen, Ryan, you have the ramp ranch on your end, right? So
yeah, I do.
You can add that just on top and it'll be just as good, but we're going to go double down on it on our end. So we have Parmesan and the ramp ranch. Oh,
why are you doing this to me?
It's fine dining now. See, NLK or NL Kitchen says, I love eating my pizza with salad.
Oh yeah? What does that mean? Like, I get it, but like, is that salad on top? Are you like, is it just on the side? Caesar salad? What is it?
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the NL Kitchens. Turbo Chef Tech just joined in. Wow, Ryan, if you've never seen a Turbo Chef before, you got to check those out. Maybe we can be sponsored by them for our cooking classes here. That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, I would love that.
Although they basically cook things at hyper speed, and they're faster than the air fryer.
I don't have space in my 800 square feet here in Brooklyn to actually have an air fryer. And like sometimes I'm like, nah, I talk myself out of like wanting one. Like I'm like, no, Ryan, you don't need it. You're better than that. But it's like I don't think I am sometimes.
See, NL Kitchen says salad with no dressing on top.
Oh,
salad with no dressing on top. Got it. It's nice.
Great. I love that. Sounds to me like you're getting some really good texture on there, which I'm all about. So I guess that's kind of what we're doing here, right?
Make me feel like eating green. Hold on. Make me feel like eating green than just carbs.
I hear it. Awesome.
All right. So now what do we do? We
hold this the whole time, and then usually someone in the background yells at Jen and I and says, "Pose for the picture." And so that's what we do.
We can pose for a picture, and we can like insert Jen maybe like right around here.
We can. Yeah. Do that. I'll try to get this lighting right. Nice. You did it. That was perfect.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
Hold on. I want to try this though. You know what I want to do? So first of all, don't forget, don't think that you have to do anything with this. Grab these little, like, look, they don't even look all that artisanal or great if you want to think about it. But these are like the little naans, these little tiny naans you can find. What was the brand? Stonefire? I don't know, but you can get them. They come in this like little package here.
Mm-hmm.
You do that. Remember, you can use something like the just a pita if you have pita. But for myself, I did use some sourdough, and I'm honestly really excited about it. So I'm gonna.
Very cool. Yeah, I saw your post about your sourdough recently. What happened? Did it work turn out, or was there a bump in the road? Oh, you're eating. I was like, why aren't you talking to me? I was like, what's going on?
I think he doesn't like me anymore.
The personal potato hug is coming after you.
Oh my goodness, it's giving me a hug.
We have our first.
I gotta be honest. I think more than Ramp Ranch, I just love the potato. So it's such a versatile thing. To be honest, I don't even think I use it enough in my life sometimes because it is just like something you forget about. But sourdough, Billy.
Yeah.
One, overproofed it.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
I also forgot something. The most important thing. Well, not the most important thing. One of the most important things. Forgot salt. So the gluten wasn't formed enough, and then it fell flat. It was horrible.
That's okay though. That's a learning situation, right?
Man, thanks for saying that. You know, that was exactly where my head was. I was like, you know what? It's really low risk, so it worked out.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do, Ryan. I know you already ate yours, but we have some friends called the Sam Boners in Philadelphia. They go around the entire country, at least on the East Coast, and they like to spread joy by eating food and grading whatever they're eating. Yeah. So this month they're doing it's called Mexi Month, so it's Mexican food, but they would call this a wild card right now. So in the middle of Mexi Month, we're gonna try something else out, which what we made, and we're gonna eat it and grade it, kind of like Dave Portnoy. So you can't give it like a solid number, like a 10, 5, 4. It's got to be point something.
I can do that. Okay. That's easy enough.
So let's do that.
You. Wait, before you rate this, you haven't really tried this before, right? So it's a new thing to you.
I've never had it. It's really good.
First of all,
I'll start off by saying it's very, very, very good.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely enough to be like your main part of the meal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. Hold on, I need, because I want to rate this. I love this. We need some sort of benchmark though. What are we rating? Best.
I mean, 1 out of 10, or 1 out of 10. So like 0 to 10 is like top and bottom. I would say 5 is like always going to be, it's good, but above 5, we're talking great, awesome, and amazing. Then we have a question here too. So while you're thinking about that, I'm going to throw this question out there and we can talk about the question afterwards. NL Kitchen wants to know, what's the most craziest topping you guys ever used before? So we're going to get that to a second. I'm going to grade this at a 9.2 on the Sam Boner scale.
I don't know Sam Boner, so.
But just look how like the undercarriage on the sucker, it's good, and then layers of flavor all in between.
We went straight to Portnoy there, which I like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, first of all, use the naan. Use something. I like this. I like using something a little bit thinner because it's gonna give you more of a crunch, right? So more of that texture. Yeah. I am, not because I'm biased with the sourdough right now, but on bread right now, this thing is just like, it's all pillowy goodness. I think I'm gonna go, because this is where I'm at. I don't know why. I'm at like an 8.6, only because I'm gonna think right now that like a Luke Holly's pizza to me, if we're going to stay in that realm, that's going to be up there, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be up there at like at least like a 9, right? So this is just below that. But again, this has everything that you possibly want on it. So good.
It's like it tastes like a white pie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jen, take a look, take a bite.
This looks awesome. Oh my gosh.
You gotta say something.
What?
Take a look, take a bite.
Okay. Take a look, take a bite.
How'd it turn out?
Mm.
You're good? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yum. I love how the potatoes get nice and crispy, but the flavoring of the Ramp Ranch, so good. So good. It's like the perfect amount of cheese on there.
So, Jen, don't
Yeah.
want to interrupt you. We had a question just recently saying, "What's the craziest thing you've ever put on top of?" Was it pizza?
I think it was just topping ever used.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. What's the craziest topping?
Mm.
I guess you have to define what is crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I've done a lot of. I mean, listen, I also worked in a pizza shop, so and on the boardwalk, and we would do a lot of like breakfast pizzas, which I love. Some people don't really like breakfast pizzas, but I love them. Like bacon, egg, cheese, and potatoes and onion. So good on a pizza.
It was delicious.
Also, like I do love a white pie with clams. So you're basically having like a clams and like a garlic cream sauce,
Delicious.
which is really good. Now, like this, like I brought over. We just had a dinner and we made like scallops Rockefeller, and with that,
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
this is not healthy, but it's like reduced cream with roasted garlic and preserved lemon. Like this could even be like spread on the bottom of this, or like a creamy like Parmesan sauce. Let's see what.
So also while you were gone,
Yeah.
I shaved the Parmesan and blew Ryan's mind. He's like, we didn't talk about it.
No, you guys didn't let me in that you were going to do that. And he started shaving the Parmesan. It looks so delicious. It's going to be like even more bite on there, which is going to be
so good.
Yeah. I mean, you could also dip this in ranch dip.
Now you're taking me back to college, I feel like. I was at college. I was there for a year, Kutztown, Pennsylvania. It was just ranch and pizza all day long. It was just like, it was the craziest thing ever. I was going to say, well, Jen, I used some sour. Oh, I was just going to say that, yeah, I think that a creamy element, a cool creamy element would definitely help a ton on this.
Mm-hmm.
Need the help, but I think it would definitely be something that's really good. I used some sourdough on here. I added a little bit of crunch, really delicate, just to kind of use some sprouts on here too.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, please don't sleep on this Ramp Ranch. Find a way just to get it in. Just please do, because you're missing part of your life. This is just happiness right here. All right. But I think we're coming up to an hour, guys. Thank you so much for walking through this recipe with me, because I love it and we elevated it to another level. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Follow
Make sure to follow
Ryan.
both of us, Ryan and me, and check out the link in my bio or the description below to find out how to get the recipe and how to get the Ramp Ranch seasoning. And Ryan, anything with Ryan, I'm like,
stop it. There's not gonna be none left.
So thanks everybody for coming. And congrats to the lucky ones that are getting the Ramp Ranch seasoning from Ryan.
All right, guys, thanks so much. And you have a great rest of your day. And Billy, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, everybody. See you in the next Fueled by Spice.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.